Hey, Happy New Year, everybody. What is going on? Welcome to the Mash and Drum Whiskey Room on a very special New Year's Eve night. I don't think I've done a live stream on New Year's Eve before, but we are here. We're doing a little bit of a New Year's Eve kind of a Whiskey of the Year preview. I wanted to go through some of my choices this year, get some feedback from you guys. What do you think? Am I missing something? Is there whiskeys or bourbons that I'm missing that should be in the mix for my end of the year ranking? Obviously, took a little bit of a break after the 25 days of Christmas with the Grinch. So I've been kind of, working hard on all my end of the year videos here that should be starting next week. So you guys will see the Rye of the Year video, Surprise Whiskey of the Year video, and obviously culminating with my top whiskeys of the year video. So all that's in the mix right now. So what is going on, everybody? About 96 people watching. That's cool. That's not bad for a New Year's Eve evening. I kind of just threw this one together because I was I don't know. I was in the mood. The fact that Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve both fell on a Wednesday night, which is usually my night to stream, was kind of a bummer. But at the same time, I did want to just do a little bit of a show tonight and talk through some of my choices. Plus, I have a couple new bottles we'll be trying, some new ones, some kind of I don't know if they'll make it to the end of the year as far as like rankings go, but some interesting whiskeys, including the new Jack Daniel's table syrup release from my buddy Byron over there at Jack Daniel's. We'll talk about that a little bit. Tanager #2 from Still Austin. We'll taste through that a little bit. Is it better than the first one? We'll talk about that, and then we'll start revealing kind of my whiskeys that are going to be here in the mix for Whiskey of the Year here. And they're not ranked yet. I have to do the blind tastings starting next week, which is always a lot of fun to do. So yeah, we're gonna keep going here, and then basically. I already have one new bourbon poured, a brand new one that I don't know if Kenneth Rathburn is in the chat. He sent this to me. I couldn't get my hands on the new Sagamore bourbon, but really excited to try this. It's apparently it's 3 times distilled, right? It's all 100% Maryland made. So this is their own mash bill. I think it's a 60-25, right? Yeah, 60 corn, 25 rye, and 15 malted barley. So nice high rye mash bill for this one from Sagamore. 6 years old on this one as well. So a nice age coming in from Sagamore. And yeah, we're going in. Watching and sipping Wild Turkey 12. All the best from the UK. Says Gish G 3833. Thanks for chiming in all the way from the UK. Appreciate that. Nathan says that Sagamore bourbon is wild. Okay, it's wild. Okay. Tim Taylor says phone and saw this. Okay. Oh, dang, I'm glad I opened my phone. Yeah. 2 streams in a week. I love it. Drum key for New Year's pour. Cheers, says Irving Larry. Yeah, guys, I've been getting a lot of amazing feedback from Drum Key, the debut in particular. The single barrels, I think a lot of people always love, but the actual blend, which I work so hard on, is getting a lot of great feedback and getting people going back and buying more. So that's always a good thing. It's surprisingly malted rye, no barley. Albert Malone's. Which one? Surprisingly. Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, not barley. 60% corn, 25% rye, and 15% malted rye. Interesting. I love malted rye. I actually did a mash bill with Sagamore a few years ago. It's been 3 years now. I think that those casks have been aging. And I did a corn, malted rye, and barley mash bill. And then I just flipped the rye and the corn mash bill percentages. So then the rye whiskey is all malted rye or mostly malted rye, corn, and then barley. So I'm glad they went malted rye. Oh, smells fantastic. All right, I'm gonna let that open up a little bit, and while I do that, I gotta say hi to some people chiming in here. All 121 of you. Thank you guys so much for hanging out on New Year's Eve. I figured I'd do this a little bit, even leading up to the if you're local in Ohio, the big Ohio State game just happening a little bit later. So yeah, pour something good. Let's hang out. Barbecue Ed, good afternoon, y'all. Happy New Year's. Nice seeing you, Barbecue Ed. Bourbon Coach is here. What's going on, Jesse? We got Leopold Scotch. Happy New Year. Can't wait to see what's on pour. Yeah, we got a bunch of stuff. I'll say cheers all now. I'll be at a bottle share this evening, so I'll catch the rerun. A New Year's Eve bottle share. There you go, Dr. Sped. Love it. Nathan's here. What's going on? He's got Dark Arts in the glass. Connoisseur Cigar is here. What's going on? Eric. Luca Forteza is here. Buon anno, Jason. Buon anno. Luca, nice to see you, man. JG is here. We got Top Dog. Randall Erickson is here. What's going on? Slapshot is here. Hope you're doing well, Brian. Top Jimmy is here, of course. Nice to see you, Toby. We got Jay Porter. Happy New Year's all. Cheers to another great year of whiskey. Absolutely. We got A-Brod in the house. Happy New Year. Giselle's Happy New Year. Congrats on your 2025 accomplishments. Appreciate that, Jonathan. Robert Schemmer's here. Hope everyone has a good night. Safe New Year's Eve. Absolutely. Stay safe out there. JG, nice to see you as always. Hope you and Krista having a great night. New World for Eric. Happy New Year, Jason and chat. We got Weller Whiskey is here. Wow, the Weller himself. Not even New Year's yet. I almost finished my first bottle of debut. Glad I bought two, says Philip Travis. Man, you're crushing it. My bourbon buddy is here. Russell's Reserve 15 in the Glen. Suburban Taco is here. Happy New Year. We got C. Mungia. What's going on, C. Mungia? Sip Whiskey. Happy New Year, everybody. Jason Kobe is here. We got, let's see, Javier Acosta is here. Nice to see you. A bunch more people coming in. We got Sean is here. Looking forward to 2026 with the Mash and Drum. Thank you so much. Stella is here. What's up, Stella? Nice to see you. Just poured my drum key, says Top Dog. Oh, you just poured it? Yeah, let it open up a little bit. I'm telling you. Mauricio Pastenes. Cheers, everyone. I'm still recovering from last night's late Christmas get-together. Cracked open OCD 5, ECBP, B525, Bottle Kill EHO, Small Batch, and a few others. Damn, you had a busy night, man. Damn, bro. That's crazy. Dano B is here. We got Kevin. Blue Run going to sweep M&J top 10. I didn't even have a Blue Run in 2025. Where were the Blue Runs at? And a bunch more people coming in. I got the first super chat of the night from Stella. Happy New Year's Eve, everyone. Sending a super chat to celebrate NCABC calling my husband, Jay Porter, last night with an MSRP bottle of Pappy 15 for him. Hope you got the cheesy drum cymbal for Christmas. Oh, was that you that sent that, Stella? Oh, I was wondering who sent that. Thank you so much. So, guys, Stella and Jay Porter sent me a little cymbal that I could hook up in my car. I've seen videos of this, but I haven't seen one in person. And they sent me like this cool gift bag. And by the way, Stella, that jerky you sent me is delicious, but man, that's hot as shit. My mouth was burning. But it was really good. I couldn't stop eating it. It was really good. I ate the hell out of that thing. And so thank you for that. But yeah, she sent me this little tiny cymbal. So when I'm air drumming in the car, or I should say steering wheel drumming, I could hit the cymbal hanging off my my dashboard. That's incredible. Thank you so much. I'm finally found out who sent it. I was wondering, I'm like, who the hell sent this? There was no address on it. There was no nothing. So thank you so much. That was very, very thoughtful, very kind of you. And I'm going to be driving. By the way, Kim thanks you for that. I'm going to be driving her nuts with that thing. She's like, don't you eat that while we're driving. My drum key is half done. It's opened up. Tennessee Breakfast Group really enjoyed it. Oh, that's good to hear, Top Dog. Cool. Now I want jerky. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's all, John. I can't handle the heat. Oh, yeah. John killed it with that. Tell John it's freaking delicious. Next time he makes more, sign me up. Happy New Year. Keep rocking in 2026. Yeah, we're going to do that. Okay. Let's get into this bourbon here. Now I want an air symbol. Jason, yeah, it's so cool. It's so cool. It's this little symbol. You attach it right to your vent in your car or somewhere on the dashboard. It works so good. I was smacking the hell out of that thing. Of course, I gotta put it away when Kim's in the car because she's like, don't keep hitting that symbol, please. What's up, Tommy D? Happy New Year from the New Year. I want to know more about this Tennessee Breakfast Group. I know it sounds like, do you guys just sip whiskey and eat pancakes? That's what it sounds like. Rexless Drivers X, Happy New Year, big dog. Let's make it another great year. Yeah, we're planning on it, man. A lot of stuff planned for 2026 as far as drum key goes. I'll let you guys in on some of the releases I'll be working on for next year. And yeah, and we'll talk about some of the whiskeys of the year. And then really the rest of the night, I want you guys to give me some suggestions. Let's put a couple whiskeys head to head. If I'm forgetting about maybe a couple whiskeys, like you should try this against this one or this against this one. Maybe there's something I'm leaving out this year. If I have the bottle, obviously, if I have the bottle, again, my end of the year rankings, it's basically it can't be store picks or group picks. It just has to be regular releases, and it has to be a bottle that I own, no samples. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't like to put whiskeys that I've only had samples of this year as like my bourbon of the year. It has to be a bourbon that I've acquired and been able to sip on and enjoy, and does it really hold up? So Remus 9 versus Jack Heritage. Jack Heritage. Heritage. Oh, Jack. I don't. Yeah, I did. So there are some bottles that I enjoyed, but I don't feel like we're good enough to crack in the top 20. But maybe we could figure that out. Remus 9 is one of those that people keep bringing up as to like throw it in the end. It's better than you think. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. All right, let's break this down here. Put GTS 25 against GTS 22. Tanyard Hill and Smith Bourbon batch 4 and GTS came in last. GTS 25 starting to show it's not so pretty good tie with airtime. I've told you guys, George T. Stagg this year is not that great. I think I went a little overboard. I called it hot trash a couple weeks ago, but I'm just saying it's not that good. It's not that good. So they went hazmat proof. They bottled it. It's not even opening up nicely to me. It's okay. Heritage Toasted Barrel got a lot of love on lists. Yeah, I could see that, but I mean, in the context of some of these whiskeys here that I have, I don't know if it'll hold up, but I do. Listen, Jack Daniel's has the 12 and the 14 year that I pulled out for whiskey of the year. So Jack Daniel's has a good shot of doing something. I know it's early, but would you consider letting Scott do a drum key pick? I, I don't think we have enough to do a drum key pick. Calumet 18 underrated this year because stupid price. Honestly, Nathan, I just don't really like Calumet 18 because of how it opened up. Now, I do have it in the rankings for sure. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it does better than I think it's going to do. But I don't like how that whiskey opened up. It got way too cherry medicinal for me. It got too Luden's cough drop, and I do not like that. So, but that's me. I liked it way better in the first quarter of the bottle. But once that thing got a lot of airtime, man, did that medicinal cherry note really start peeking through for me. And it was just a little bit too much. I do like medicinal cherry. Well, there you go, Nathan. That makes sense. I don't mind it. I don't mind it as long as it's part of like other flavors. But when it starts taking over, that's actually kind of my big issue with the Master's Keep 17 year bottle and bond from Wild Turkey that released what is that 4 or 5 years ago now. Love that bottle. Loved it way more. I love the first half of the bottle, but by the second half, man, it turns to cherry cough drop. Turns to cherry cough drop for me. All right. So on the nose here, man, it smells fantastic. I think the malted rye actually really shines through. First of all, you get a lot of baking spice. You get that, it's a rye whiskey, I think, but it's very chocolatey to me. The rye grain, though, is very prevalent, though, as well. It's spicy. It's kind of got like this toasted rye breadiness to it, but it also has that Sagamore like fruit forwardness. Like there's a little bit of maybe orange marmalade on that rye bread. I missed you. What do you mean I missed you? Oh, Jason missed us? Connoisseur Cigar Eric? What did I miss? I missed something. Sorry. Sorry if I missed it. When will that Sagamore be available outside the distillery, like in Indiana? I don't know, Tim Taylor. I do not know the I do not know like the release schedule for this. Whiskey and pancakes. That's right. Getting ready to crack open JD 10-year, paid 90. That's pretty good for the 10-year. Jason. Oh, Jason Coates is here. Nice to see you, Jason. Top Jimmy, Woodford Chocolate Redux Remix Experimental, Jefferson's Reserve 130 proof, Elkwood 18. If you got on Peter E. Hart. Yeah, so I could tell you that I think Woodford I'm going to include this year. Remus Experimental, I put that in the surprise bottle of the year. It didn't win out, so I don't know if it's going to hold up in this one, but it's definitely a bottle that will be in kind of my surprise whiskey list. Jefferson's Reserve 130 I threw in as well, just because why not? Let's see how it is. I do have an Elkwood 18 in the mix, and I know it's a single barrel, and I said I don't do store picks or single barrels, but I feel like that should be represented, maybe along with the Buffalo Turkey. But I'm trying to find. I have a Buffalo Turkey that was just released from a distillery. I think it's an Augusta one, not so much a pick. But unfortunately, I don't have a pick from the Barton one. So we'll see how it holds up. Maybe we'll test it tonight. We'll see how it goes. Hey, what's up? Hack and Mac is here. Nice to see you guys. Early stream tonight. It's going to be a long one when you take it. Yeah, I'm not taking you guys in the new year. I'm staying on for a couple of hours, and then we're going to go watch the Ohio State game. Yeah, this is the more this sits open, I feel like it's getting more bready. More of that rye grain is coming through. All right, let's give it a try. Cheers, guys. Thanks for hanging out here. Happy New Year. Pour something good. Let's do it. We got a lot to discuss tonight, a lot to talk through. It's going to be a fun night. Plus, your requests. This is like old school 1990s MTV request live. You say what I drink, and I'll drink it. Wow, I did not expect that at all on the palate. That was way sweeter than I thought it was going to be. Mississippi Buckeye 4031. I'm ready. I know Kim's upstairs. My girlfriend Kim, she actually went to Ohio State. So she's all fired up for tonight. She's already, she's watching the pregame upstairs. She's all fired up. She's a little nervous too, though. Hack and Mac, member for 3 months. Love what you do, Jason. Keep kicking ass in 2026. Thank you so much, man. I remember TRL live on, Total Request Live. Oh, wait, second sip. What is that flavor? That's wild. Nathan, you're right. It is kind of wild. So the breadiness that I was smelling, I should say, it came back to the palate. Yeah, I just got the Jefferson's cast strain a couple days ago. It's pretty good. Yeah, it opens up. Listen, it's not the most, it's not the most layered bourbon you're going to try, but for $70, man, I've been calling it vanilla gasoline. That's what it is. Hold on a second. It's going to sound weird, but there's a like, and Nathan, let me know if you get this on here too. I feel like I'm getting like a smoky barbecue note on here. And I'm not sure where that's coming from. Maybe it's the malted rye, but there's something inherently like a sweet smoke note on here. It's almost like sweet barbecue sauce, but it's like intermingled with the rye, all the rye spice, the sweetness. The back of the palate is all rye for me, but there's this little like smoky sweetness on the mid palate. I said grilled orange, even though I've never had one. Yeah, I mean, like when I was nosing it, yeah, the orange is crazy, but that sweet, smoky, maybe it's like a smoked citrus type of note that's on here. There's something smoky on it. Kim and your mom impression are sounding so similar. Yeah, Kim hates when I do that voice for her. She's like, "That's your mother." That might be what it is. It might be, you know what it is? It's orange bitters. That's what it is. It's orange bitters. That's what I taste in here. Okay. Man, that was bothering me. I'm so glad it clicked in my head. When you make a cocktail with orange bitters, that's the taste I'm getting. Dude, that is so crazy. Lots of sweetness though. The orange bitter note I think is there. Yeah, Nathan, it's orange bitters. It's exactly what it is. It's almost kind of like cocktaily in a way, but a lot of rye spice. I was thinking that orange and orange chicken sauce. Maybe there is like a little sweet and sour thing going on in here too. Mm. Yeah, no, man, it's that bitter note. I think it's that malted rye note. I think the malted rye is giving you a slight bitterness with that orange, and it's straight up orange bitters to me. Wow, that's cool. That is a kind of a crazy whiskey. All right, let's talk about this one real quick because I feel like this is a whiskey that you guys did. This one hit Ohio? Not yet, but it should soon. Ohio does get all the Sagamore stuff, so we should get it. We should get it eventually. Yeah, Hack and Mac guys. You guys, if you guys haven't subscribed to Hack and Mac, drop the link in the chat. Somebody, Top Jimmy, whoever's in here, definitely give them a subscribe. They're doing a great work over there. Thanks for doing a show during the holidays. Happy New Year and cheers to 100K this year. Yes, yeah, a couple of. I think those are the biggest milestones this year: 100K and the launch of Drum Key. Those two milestones will be our paramount for me in 2025. That's why 2025 will always be a really special year. So yeah, it's just really cool to be able to actually like bring a product to you guys, but also after all the work, through all the years hitting 100K, kind of doing it my own way, doing my own thing. That's what was I was super proud of. Here we go. Excuse me. All right, so this is the Jack Daniel's used table syrup, barrels to finish. Oh, Jack Daniel's used table syrup barrels to finish its new high proof rye whiskey. So this is cool. So this is Distillery Series number 16, a rye whiskey finished in new charred white oak before finishing in X table syrup barrels. Table syrup, otherwise known as pancake syrup, but not to be confused with maple syrup, is typically made from high fructose corn, water, and flavorings. The team says that the unusual cask finish adds a rich layers of sweetness that complement and elevate the whiskey's rye character. So it's their typical mash bill of 70% rye, 18 corn, 12 barley, 111.4 proof. The whiskey will be available exclusively at the White Rabbit Bottle Shop in Lynchburg, Tennessee, $44.75. So Byron Copeland, who's been on the channel before, we've done picks with him. He's such an amazing human being, such a good dude. He's the Jack Daniel's barrel maturation manager and master taster. He said, thanks to what we can do with our barrels, the finish adds a sweetness and depth that's completely unique, but unmistakably Jack. So his signature is actually on the bottle. And if you guys don't know who Byron Copeland is, this is him. He was on the channel talking through barrel chemistry and really breaking down oak and, the different, he always schooled me on the word tylosis. Tylosis is what, whiskey can pull from or the chemical compound within a barrel that gives it that texture and some of that color. I'll never forget what he always said because he kind of ingrained that in my head. But yeah, Byron's such a good dude. So this is it. This is the finished in table syrup barrels. Now, Jack sent this to me, and, this is one of those, I tasted this last night for the first time. This is Fat Kid whiskey. This is syrupy. Again, this is not to be confused with a maple cask or a maple brulee. This is like you took whiskey and you added a little bit of Mrs. Butterworth's syrup to it, or some Aunt Jemima, or whatever you used growing up. That old school table syrup. On a scale of 1 to 10, how sweet is it if 10 is Jack Tennessee honey? That's a good scale, eBay, I'll tell you right now. But on the nose, it's definitely still, like the press release says, it's unmistakably Jack. It's Jack Daniels rye. It's sweet, not overly sweet. The rye spice is there. But yes, you're looking at a sweeter rye, excuse me, a sweeter rye profile. You don't get any of that dill, none of that stuff, just sweet. Hey, ADHD Whiskey's in the house. What's up? Nice to see you, Maddie. Another big highlight of my year was getting to hang out with Matt for a good portion of the weekend in Bourbon, Missouri, or even in St. Louis. We were down for the St. Louis Whiskey Festival. That was great to see him, and yeah, that was really cool. And getting to watch him work and learning what he does. I mean, it was really a privilege and an honor just to kind of because Matt and I we've talked and we've met before at events, but that was the first time we actually really spent some time together. It was just really cool to get to know him a little bit more. It was cool. LE flavored whiskey. Got to try a Bourbon Street pick of JD Tanya that blew my socks off. So good. Yeah. So I think you still get, as far as sweetness from that scale of 1 to 10, I would probably go probably a 7 on this. I don't think it's as sweet as Tennessee honey. It's not nearly that sweet. But I think the fact that they did it in a rye rather than a Tennessee bourbon really helps it out. I could see a Matt and Jason BK collab at some point soon. Yeah. Hey, the Bourbon Jerks are here. Guys, the Bourbon Jerks put out their top 10 or their top whiskeys of the year. You guys should go check that out. There might be a familiar label on that list, just saying. Much to my surprise, it was really cool. Definitely go watch that. Yeah, that would be fun, Matt. I don't even know. Between my mind and Matt's mind, I don't even know. We would come up with something crazy. Who knows what we would come up with? We would have to drum and drummer. Yeah, the table syrup barrel, it's there just to give it enough sweetness. I do think you still get like that Jack Daniels almost. There's like a peanuttiness to it on top of it. Almost that Jack Daniels nuttiness that you get sometimes. It's like that trail mix note that I sometimes get with Jack that I feel like is coming through in this expression. But again, with that table syrup kind of on top of that, it doesn't get to a point where it's overly sweet. And I think when I first tried it, it was sweeter than it is now. I think a little bit of airtime has actually brought the rye a little bit forward, which is helping it. So yeah. Jason, heading to a dinner of foie gras for New York for New Year's Eve soon. Oh, very nice, Don Rance. Foie gras. That'll clog your arteries good. Matt and drum is pretty funny. Yeah, we could definitely do that. Yeah, this is good. If you guys like sweeter whiskeys, but more often like if you like sweeter ryes, this is a really nice rye whiskey. That's another great really. Jack Daniels absolutely killed it this year. They killed it this year. If there was one brand that I would call out like who had the best year in whiskey, it's hard to go against Jack Daniels. They released the 10, the 12, the 14. They brought the heritage to the shelf. They released the Tanyard Hill. Then they had all these great Tennessee tasters in between. Now look, a lot of Tennessee tasters can be hit and miss, but they released some really good ones this year. That one, the sweet mash one, which was actually surprisingly good as well. They brought out some really great whiskeys this year. Jack Daniels just killing it, killing it. All right, put that to the side. All right, what else do we have here? Oh yeah, Tanager. I want to talk through Tanager real quick, and then we'll get to my whiskey of the year previews. JD might be Heritage Distiller of the Decade. Yeah, Jason. I mean, it's not far off. All right. This is still Austin. This is Tanager number 2. So year 2 for Tanager. This is the same. So basically, this was made the same way as last year. No different. 6-year age statement on here. You have red, white, and blue corn being used in this mash bill. Again, utilizing that eau de vie technique where you have the barrel aged water being added to the cask as it ages to not only break down some of the wood sugars but make it sweeter. Again, it's a technique we see in cognac. Obviously, Nancy Fraley knows a lot more about it than I do. Yeah, BT, where is the Eagle Rare 12? Yeah, remember how Eagle Rare 12 was supposed to be so available? Buffalo Trace kills me, man. They say it every year. Eau de vie. So also to note, packaging and box is the same. So nothing has changed with the box here. Is there anything on here that lets you know it's a certain year? Nope. Doesn't tell you on the box whether it's 25 or 24. Maybe the bottle tells you. Okay, the bottle says 25 on it. So, okay, that's how you know on the bottle. I see 100 Eagle Rare 12 years for every Eagle Rare 10 year because 100 times 0 equals 0. The ER12 has been a complete success. It's rarer than rocking. It's rare. It's what? It's rarer than rocking horseshit, and it allowed them to dump excess ER stock to keep the 10 rarer and then rocking horseshit as well. Okay. I think the cork is the only difference. Is the cork the only difference? I don't know. I still see the eggs on top, unless there's new eggs on there. ADHD Whiskey with a $5 super chat. What's up, man? My daughter Charlie would love a Mash and Drum shout out. She says, Happy New Year. Charlie, shout out to you. Thank you so much for watching with your dad. Your dad's amazing. He's an amazing human being, and so are you, Charlie. Happy New Year, Charlie. Shout out to you. Hope you guys have an amazing Happy New Year. Colonel E.H. Tater, how many purple tops do you have? What are your favorites? Colonel E.H. Tater, I am not a purple top guy. I refuse to chase purple tops like a lot of people do. But if you must know, I have 2 purple tops. One of them is a 12-year, and the other one was a very expensive mistake, which was a 16-year, and I hated it. And I paid a lot of money for it. And yep, I don't have a lot of purple tops. I am not a Willett guy. I am not the guy to talk to when it comes to Willett. Here's my thing with Willett. I know people love it and it has kind of like a cult following, but and listen, I understand because they have some really amazing old barrels and old whiskeys, and there's some really great releases that they've come out with, single barrels that have crazy high ages and stuff like that. Totally get it. But one of the eggs on the Tanager 2025 is cracked. That and the 2025 on the label are the only differences. Oh, it's a cracked egg. Oh, it is cracked. Look at that. Cracked egg. What's up, Todd Ritter? Nathan says green top over. So yeah, I would argue I like the high age Willett Rise over the bourbons. So yeah, again, I don't understand why people pay thousands of dollars to get a sourced whiskey from years ago. Now, the sourced whiskey from years ago is part of the pull-in because, Willett was sourcing barrels when nobody was sourcing barrels. So they had some really, really good distillate that they were working with that they sourced. And I get the kind of the romantic part of that why people would want that. But even the stuff now that they're putting out, when it's like an older whiskey, they throw like $1,000, $1,200 price tag on it because it has purple foil on top on a fancy wine bottle. That's the part I have an issue with. And I don't think just because it says Willett on it doesn't make it any better than any other whiskey. We need a drum key Johnny drum pick. I got the double oaked Hirsch single barrel yellow label pick and exceptional. I'm looking for a backup. Oh, double oaked Hirsch single barrel. We have actually Mash and Journey has one coming out. So yeah, we're just still waiting for it. That said, you can have a few bucks. What? You have a few bucks and help a charity with those Kiamichi bottles? Top Shelf Dustin? I don't know who you're talking to, buddy. What's up, James Morgan? Yeah, I'm just not a big, just never been a big Willett guy. I think the Willett bottles are more of a status thing than anything, you know, for most guys. It's like if you have, I feel like there's a checkbox, you know, for guys that have money and they want to drink, you know, whiskey or bourbon and they consider themselves, you know, big collectors of stuff. You have old school purple tops, right? Old school Willett purple tops. Pre-Fire Heaven Hill is the other one, right? Pre-Fire Heaven Hill, and then you know maybe some other Dusties that are in the mix. But if you have those three things, or maybe some Old Pappies, you have Old Pappies, Pre-Fire Heaven Hill, and Willett purple tops. That's the upper echelon of, I don't know, bourbon collector, clout chasing, on my shelf, look what I have type of shit. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you have the money to do it, shit, invite me over. I'll drink as much as I can. I'm just not gonna. I just don't know about buying all that stuff. I just couldn't do it. I probably could do it if I really wanted to, but I don't want to. I just use a purple Sharpie. Because I think I've been to like at least, you know, when I get invited to some like, you know, when I get invited to like tastings and like, it's like the same stuff like these guys have. It's like, oh, I got all these Willett purple tops. I got a lot of Pre-Fire Heaven Hill. It's like the same shit. Is there like a bourbon playbook that I haven't read yet in order to be like in the cool kids club? Like I don't know what it is, dude. I don't know what it is. Like Pre-Fire Heaven Hill, old Willett purple tops, and maybe some other Dusties, and I don't know. Yeah, Pre-Fire Heaven Hill though is freaking delicious. So that's what I mean. Like you could drink all that and buy all that, and I'll, like I said, I'll be over right away. Help you drink all of it. It's delicious. Now the Willett purple tops, I just don't have a lot of experience with. I've been to some great tastings where I've had some, and they've just been really hit and miss. Some have been freaking unbelievable, and some have been like, you paid how much for this? It just depends. But that's what you get into when you get into some like sourcing some stuff and some some older stuff. So yeah. I think you'll like my playbook, 2 full shelves of Russell single barrels. There are some barrel special releases that are Willett purple at much lower prices for Sugar Kitty. Yeah, those I've seen. And you know, I will say, if you wear 2 polos with both collars popped, I hear you get a Blanton's from the back and a few frat stories from the owner. I will say this: I've had more recent purple tops, like the 12-year that I pulled the trigger on. That's actually delicious. So I don't know. I feel like for me, and this is me personally, if I'm going to spend the money on a Willett, I'm hoping to try it before I buy it. I know that's not always, you know, possible, but I mean, if I'm going to drop, you know, a few $100s on a Willett, just because me and the brand and just not always loving everything, I have to taste it first. But I have had some exceptional Willets, to be honest. I remember having one that tasted like peanut butter and jelly. It was freaking delicious. I didn't even remember where I was, but I was like, holy crap, like, what is this? This is delicious. So there's some really, really special ones out there. Yeah, the good ones are world class. Yeah, I give it, man. Absolutely. All right, so Tanager 2025. I think the texture is still there for 2025 that was in last year's. The texture is beautiful. It's only getting better. Love the richness of it. Again, I think people read cigar blend. They're like thinking it's finished. It's not finished. Again, it's that eau de vie type of process that is utilized in the barrel to really make this sing. The red, white, and blue corn combination. You have sweet, you have savory, you have a little spicy, all kind of intermingled in there. It's fruit forward. It's dark. It's almost um, there's a darkness to this that's super interesting that I can never always put my finger on. It's like a roasted chestnut type vibe, but it also has like cigar box tobacco, but then it also at the same time has like rich fruit flavors. So I think the biggest knock on Tanager is that people wish it was a little bit of a higher proof. But I think that eau de vie kind of lends itself to bringing down the proof a little bit while pushing the flavor profile a little bit more forward. So I think this is one of those whiskeys where, you don't want to put this up against something that's 140 proof. This is one of those whiskeys you just want to sit and sip on its own. And I'm telling you, when you just sit with this, you just break down all these amazing flavors that's in it. It's a really interesting whiskey. Happy New Year, man. Nancy made cigar batch and she can make it whatever she wants it to be. Exactly. I think you forgot to drop America after red, white, and blue. I like Tanager's proof. Yeah, I'm okay with Tanager's proof because I feel like I taste all of it. Honestly, yeah, thinking about Willett, man, you know what? I'm gonna reach out to Willett this year. I wanna go and have an experience there and just taste through, I don't know, whatever offerings they have, just anything that they have. I just want to taste through it. What are the big differences? What are the similarities? What barrels are they utilizing? If they can even tell you, where are they sourcing from now? I know they're working on a lot of their other stuff. This bottle that they came out with, which was the Willett small batch. I mean, in my opinion, this is not good. It's just not good. Uh, I don't know, but maybe this is just like me and like the Willett profile. I just don't jive with it. I don't know what it is. There's just something about it. It's that Sharpie marker note that I tend to get with Willett that's just a little bit off-putting for me. But this to me was not a great release. Price-wise, it was great. It was like $60, but I just don't really enjoy it. Yeah, so JG, it's not necessarily I want to do a pick. I just because getting a pick there is pretty impossible. I just want to go there, maybe do an experience where I could taste through some of the whiskeys. I'm just really curious. Willett is too secretive about their sources. Yeah, totally, totally. But I still want to taste what they have, and I don't know. I just want to. I'm gonna have to see if they have like experiences like that. I listen. I know you have to go and put your name in for the bar, and have their delicious $45 egg salad, all that stuff. But I want to taste their whiskeys. Hey, what's up, Cam? Thank you for saying that about the 4-year small batch. Not good at all. Yeah, Cam, I'm with you, man. I do not like it. I do not like it. I don't know what it is about it. I don't know, Cam. Is it in? There's like a real off-putting flavor in there. And normally it's Sharpie marker for me with Willett. I maybe it's that, but there's something in there that is just off-putting, dude. Thanks, Jason. Can you please do a deeper dive on Willett? It's a huge mystery to me, top to bottom. Yeah, Chad, I think that's something I could definitely do this year for sure. Rare Character has some very good barrels for a fraction of the price of Willett. Yeah, I could see that. The Master Drum, is it better than Willett Pot Still? I don't know. I would have to compare that. I could tell you what you don't like about it. It's 4 years old. Yeah, I could see it's grain forward. Reveries is Willett for people who drink their bottles. Yeah, I could see Reveries kind of getting into that. Yeah. I get this weird metallic crabapple note in Willett, but I actually like that note. Willett is always the big elephant in the room. Why is some of your stuff so amazing and some of your stuff so downright awful? Yeah, I mean, I think that's my biggest. Maybe it's the inconsistency that I don't like about it. Yeah, I agree with one odd flavor in there. It reminds me of some sort of underdeveloped ethanol solvent thing. It also reminds me of this year's GTS, obviously on a much different scale. Dude, Cam, you are so right. That ethanol, alcohol, almost plastic on fire note is what I get in this year's GTS. That completely kills the experience for me. Dude, I don't know what it is. So my favorite, and again, Cam, thank you so much for the for sending those samples over. I don't know if you saw my ranking that night. I had William LaRue Weller as my first place, and a very close second place for me was Eagle Rare 17. Colonel Taylor was kind of in the back of the pack. Sazerac was kind of in the back of the pack. George T. Stagg was in the back. I really liked the Handy this year as well. I know it sounds funny, but I did like the Handy this year. But yeah, that was kind of like my ranking. But yeah, there's something about GTS that's off-putting, man. Drums and Drams, 100%. Yeah, give me this year's dude. William LaRue Weller. I actually may try to find a bottle of that one. I think you and I had the same ranking. Yeah, I think William LaRue Weller is a bottle I have to try to seek out this year for sure. And dude, you sent me that Blade and Bow 30 year. That just about changed my life. Now I want a bottle of that. So damn you, Cam. Damn you. For making me want to spend like $2,000 on that freaking bottle. Oh my God. That thing is ridiculous. That Blade and Bow 30. It's so good. I don't think I've ever had such an elegantly aged oak profile like on that whiskey. Oh my gosh. Okay. So let's get into let's get into a couple news stories, and then we'll hit the rankings here real quick. So, dude, rest in peace. That Blade and Bow keeps going up on secondary. Yeah, I know. I feel like the only way I'm going to get one is maybe on Unicorn, but I know I'm going to have to pay up to get it on there just to grab a bottle from there. But we'll see. I know this is off topic, sort of, but I picked up a bottle of Murray Hill Club Special Release yesterday. Sean, do you know which one it is, Sean? Is it 4? Because if it's 4, you got yourself a banger. If it's something else, I'm not sure. Ethanol solvent is acetone derivative, so sugar cookie. Young apple note is ethyl acetate. The problem is the cuts. Your debut was better than my Pappy 23 and very old St. Nick's. Damn, Chris Klepper. Thank you so much. I could see my debut being better than Pappy 23 for sure. I got an Eagle Rare 17 this year, debating cracking it versus trading, says Nathan. Nathan, if you wanna get rid of it, I'll trade you for it. I'll take a bottle of that. Let me know. Oh, batch 4? Sean, you got yourself a hell of a Murray Hill Club. That thing is delicious. That was a top whiskey for me last year. That batch 4. Calvados has been done well very few times, and that Murray Hill Club is one of the few times it's been done pretty much perfectly. So enjoy that bottle. Do not trade it. Do not think about getting rid of it. It is delicious. I still love that Murray Hill Special Batch number 1. Yeah, that was a good one, Top Shelf Dustin. That's been a while though. Okay. So real quick, let me get into. I think the one label that hit the TTB that everybody was losing their mind over was this Augusta Buckner's 24-year single barrel. So now Augusta has been sourcing stuff for a long time. You know, I saw some pretty shitty posts, to Augusta about this and putting out all this source stuff. Everyone's putting out source stuff though. Why is Augusta getting hung by its thumbs for it? I mean, it makes no sense to me. Anyway, 24-year. Augusta's been sourcing for a long time. Now, I'm guessing this is some of their Barton distillate that they have that's hitting 24 years old because they've had it for a long time. I guess we'll see as we go forward here. But yeah, a lot of people loving this one. This will probably have a pretty hefty price tag. I'm guessing this could be in the 3s, maybe even the 4s. Just because if their Buffalo turkeys were in the 3s and those were 15, 16, 17, you would have to think that this is going to get close to that 4 number, which could be problematic for some people though. Is the Barton stuff that old, Nathan? Yeah, I think they've had some Barton stuff for a long time, so they could be sitting on some old stuff. Since when was source stuff a problem? I don't know. I think people are getting tired. Like, I don't know, man. Whiskey drinkers just they can never be happy about anything. You know why? Because when we sit back a few years ago and we think, oh, we're in a bourbon glut, we're we're going to get so much great whiskey now. We're thinking that way. The distillers are thinking, man, we're going to have all this whiskey sitting around, high age statements. That means we're going to fucking cash in. So it's good for us because, yes, we're getting higher age statements. It's going to keep happening. Age statements keep coming back. They're gonna go higher. They're gonna be higher age releases. This year we had the high age Buffalo Turkeys. We had the high age Bartons. What's 2026 gonna bring? There's gonna be another trend. Maybe the 24 years become the trend. We'll see what happens. But now that we're getting these higher casks, now the whiskey drinker is going to complain about paying for the higher age casks, even though we've wanted age statements for a long time. So there's always a balance where it happens. There's always a balance between the buyer and the seller. And the buyer is always going to want the higher age statement. We're going to want what we want, but we're not always going to want to pay for it, where the seller is going to want to make their money when they can. So somewhere it's got to have to meet in the middle. When I was a kid, I kept my baseball cards in old cigar boxes after it sat in the glass for a while. I literally transported back to being a kid sorting cards, cigar box notes with brown sugar. Half the stuff out there is sourced. Who cares? Yeah, exactly. It tastes great. Whiskey trolls are no joke. What's your dream sourcing for a drum key blend? A high age wild turkey. I want to blend my own 15 to 18-year wild turkey product. That would be my dream sourcing for sure. How good can I blend that shit? What can I do with barrels like that? That would be my dream sourcing. It's not even close. It would be 15, 16, maybe 17-year wild turkey for sure. For sure. I just want to give back to 23-year-old Rise from Willett for $90. Why can't we have 2009 again? Campari done shut that off when they saw the hype POAC got. Yeah, maybe. It should be, well, not really, because Old Commonwealth put out 16-year stuff. So, I mean, it's out there. It should be taste first, a referral from palate you trust when spending that much money. Now you're talking, give me that wild turkey funk. Yeah. I think that's something I would like to see in 26. I would like to see higher aged rye whiskeys, from the big distillers. Now, who knows what they have sitting around? Obviously, we know MGP has, their 12-year, 13-year ryes, but who else has those really high age ryes that are out there? I'm sure some smaller distilleries could have it. Old Potrero, I think, has 16-year, and some others, but where are those? Where are those barrels that are out there? That's what I want to see. I don't want Buffalo Turkey 15, 16. No, I want wild turkey, not Buffalo Turkey. People could keep that shit. I'm done with it. I want straight up wild turkey. So, Bruce Russell, if you're watching, I'm just putting in my request for 2026. Thank you, sir. Michter's might bring back the 25-year rye, but that's going to be, $8,000. Can we get a high age rye for an affordable price? Saz obviously has the 17-year stuff. Why don't they have anything between the Saz 17 and Handy 8? I don't know. That's a good question. But I mean, aside from Buffalo Trace, I know we've seen some 10-year, 11-year from Wild Turkey for their ryes. I mean, that stuff's probably just going to be sitting around and getting older. I could definitely see another Master's Keep. Well, not a Master's Keep because that's kind of done, but I could see a special release from Wild Turkey come down the pipeline where we have a maybe 14-year rye, 15-year rye release. We'll see. Hey, what's up, Rare Bird? Yes, gold foil is coming. Yeah, you start talking about POAC. Look who shows up. So yeah, I just think there's opportunity there to see some high age ryes come out from other distillers rather than just MGP and some of the other usual suspects. Okay, so let's go through some of my top whiskeys here that I have picked out for my large end of the year tasting. Oh yeah, real quick too. Sorry, before I forget, the big, you know, I guess news hit was Jim Beam suspending Maine distilling operations for the entirety of 2026. And I think what's pissing me off is there are a lot of videos and content being made out there that's, again, making it sound like it's the end of the world. I think everybody just needs to relax a little bit. Again, guys, I did a video a few months ago. I call it the Bourbon Boom and Gloom. So if you guys want to see that video and all the research I put into it, what I found out and sales numbers and everything. Now, I know it doesn't include this particular story, but I did it at a point when everybody was losing their mind, when Brown-Forman was shutting down cooperages and sales were plummeting, and a couple of Scotch distilleries stopped production as well. So a lot of the same issues are still there today. You know, we're still in a market correction. This kind of feeds into what I was talking to earlier about, you know, more barrels becoming available. You got to remember, Jim Beam alone, without anybody else, is sitting on about 4 million barrels. 4 million. Just from them. 4 million barrels. So if anybody can afford to maybe stop production for a little bit, and now I know part of the press release was them talking about how they wanted to refurbish and kind of redo their distillery. It needed some updating technology-wise. And distilleries do that all the time. So again, people just need to relax. So it says multiple news outlets have reported development, including Beam owned a subsidiary of Suntory Holdings. Okay, blah, 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 blah. This news comes at during a difficult time for the spirits industry. Studies have shown the number of people who consume alcoholic beverages is at a 90-year low, while spirits exports fell sharply in the wake of a Trump administration widespread tariffs on spirits. Exports to Canada, in particular, have suffered as Canadian retailers have removed U.S. spirits products from shelves. Kentucky has an all-time record amount of aging whiskey in stock, with 16.1 million barrels in storage, citing figures provided by the Kentucky Distillers Association. Despite the shutdown of Beam's main operation, distilling reported will continue at the Fred B. No Craft Distillery in Claremont and the Booker No Distillery in Boston, Kentucky. We're always assessing production levels to best meet consumer demand, and recently met with our team to discuss our volumes for 2026. So now, while bottling and warehousing will continue at the main distillery, Beam will continue talks with the United Food and Commercial Workers Union while valuing how the shutdown might affect employees. And again, I always say this. This is the worst part of something like this, is when people lose their jobs. That's the worst part of all the shit that happens. But again, we are in a market correction. There's too much whiskey, and right now there's not enough people drinking it. The whole tariff thing, I think, yes, it's a big part of it, but it's not the only reason. I think people shouldn't just, blame a specific administration, no matter what your beliefs are, because it's a much more compounding issue than just the tariffs. You have the tariffs played a part? Absolutely. Not going to deny that. But on top of that, you have kids not really drinking, kids that are turning 21, they're not drinking as much anymore. They want to do, THC, do gummies, CBD, all that stuff. Healthier lifestyles, people wanting to live longer, not putting alcohol in their bodies. It's all this stuff is compounding into also the kind of the people drinking a lot less. So I think Jim Beam is doing this smart thing. And here's the other thing, guys. There are many distillers that I've talked to that have slowed down production. Now, why Jim Beam felt that they had to do a press release about this, I don't know. I feel like if you have 4 million barrels, you just shut it down, you kind of refurbish what you have to refurbish, and you go about your business. Why are you telling everybody? Because I could tell you for a fact that there are other distillers that have slowed production here and there because they see the writing on the wall. They see what's happening right now. So if you're smart, we talked about this. I talked about this last year. If distillers are smart, they're going to slow down especially the limited releases. But that seems to be the only thing that's selling now. because nobody cares about the regular bottle of bourbon that's on the shelf anymore. Yeah, Knob Creek 12 is great. I could just go buy my Four Roses. I could just go buy that. I could just go buy that. And that's fine. But in this market now, it's so oversaturated that if you don't do something new and something exciting, your stuff is just going to continue to sit on the shelf, which is why we're seeing more LEs. So it almost kind of flipped on its head, if you think about it. They're telling, so what's that say? They're telling so the market will respond positively to cost saving. I mean, maybe alcohol has been around for thousands of years. It's not going anywhere. Exactly. And bourbon has survived this. They've survived so much up and down in its history, in its long, storied history. It's going to survive again. It's going to have ups. It's going to have downs. The reason why people, I think, are so freaking out is because it had an unprecedented uplift during COVID. Bourbon never saw anything like that during COVID. And, a lot of people got in the business to make money without a future forecasting type of plan to keep their distillery putting out quality whiskey, not just sourcing to make a buck. And some of those whiskeys are either getting consolidated or they're closing. And it's a big issue. But the ones that were in it to stay and to make something interesting, those are the ones that are going to play the market smart and do what they have to do. I think some craft distillers have a real good opportunity here to, as their whiskey keeps aging up, to really bring in all their locals and make great experiences, whether it be in their restaurants, whether it be entertainment wise, local types of releases, to build up a grassroots following, get people excited about their brand. That's where you're going to get the whiskey geeks and people like me and people like you guys watching to travel and to go to these different distilleries to try out what they have. If you're just throwing stuff in a bottle that's sourced with a label that you resurrected from the 1940s, that doesn't really have a connection to anything in the drinker and the history at all, that's where you're going to struggle, I think, especially in today's market. Age those barrels, next boom. Review. I blame Jason Covey says, I blame Cam for that. You blame Cam for what? A little reset is good, in my opinion. Add some age to future releases. Better availability is a good thing. I think the tours are going to be affected, so they had to announce it. Yeah, I can see the tours being affected, especially if they're going to have to lay some people off, which makes sense. Yeah. Yes, blame Cam and their laser codes. Once those barrels are made, they're going somewhere, even if they didn't have to dump it in horrendously tiny prices at a certain New Jersey disposal facilities. Oh, geez, Sugar Kitty. Nick Foles, I'm hoping it will one day. I'd be cool with that. Shocking to me the lack of common knowledge around simple supply and demand. It's the basis of free economy. Bourbon was inevitably going so. Yeah, Chad, it's so true. It's so true. New brands over revival labels. Yes, but if you do the new brands right, Rare Bird, I think I will take that over revival labels any day of the week. So totally agree with that. I've been saying this the whole time, but I'm not going to accept that the distilleries are hurting until maybe ECBP gets a 12-year age statement back. Hello, Oakley. Yeah, Oakley's one of those that just decided to make a whiskey brand and source and put weird people in a lake, not even drinking whiskey, just beautiful people dancing around a still that's not even connected to anything. Obviously, that website was made by AI. Just saying. Yeah, we need more bespoke things. Oh my God. I'm just saying, people just need to relax. Yes, it's smart whiskey brands are going to be doing this. They have to. But if anybody can afford to do this, it's Jim Beam with 4 million. This is why Jim Beam continuously keeps bringing out new labels. It's because they're not content with just putting Bakers on the shelf or just Bookers on the shelf, or if you do that, especially from the big distillers, even Heaven Hill is guilty of this. You just keep coming out with new shit because the other stuff is sitting around. So what's the one quick hit you can get? You bring a new bottle to the market, new label, maybe a new version of something you already have, get people excited for a quick hit, and then it's gone. So that's what the distillers seem to be doing now. I'd rather see them just sit on the whiskey, let it get older, and then just bring it back out with a high age statement or something, and keep the price competitive rather than keep bringing out all these limited editions. Because the limited editions is what's getting people really annoyed. I'm waiting for Jason coming out of the ocean with a bottle of drum key. Maybe one day. Beam is a whiskey nerd's nemesis. Could have greatness, but is a teaser, says Wise Guy Whiskey Guy. More beaver whiskey. Yeah, bring back the beaver. All right, guys. I'm going to go through my bottles here real quick of bottles that I have in the mix here for my bottles of the year. Keep track if you can. And you guys let me know, what am I missing? Is there something I should be putting in here for the end of the year? I may agree with you. I may not agree with you. But here's what we have. And excuse me, I got a new camera for my main camera. It's not the one I'm using now, but I'm kind of working through the kinks and learning how to use it. So I have the lens that I usually have on the bottle cameras on the new camera. So I don't have my bottle cam right now, but you'll be able to see them either way. Oh, I don't have Calumet 18 over here. It's over there. Well, that's my first one. Calumet 18 is on the list. All right. So I actually said I was going to be writing these down too, just so I could keep track. So Calumet 18 is my first one. And again, these are in no particular order, guys. So don't take it as Jason ranked Calumet 18 last or first. That's not the case here. I'm literally just listing them off. All right. So Calumet 18, that's the first one. I have two Jack Daniels here. I have the 12 and the 14. I think both of these are good enough to put in the mix this year, because sometimes I like the 12 and sometimes I like the 14. I think it just depends, and I'm curious in a blind with some of these other hitters how these are going to go. Jason, I hear Johnny Depp is available for Drum Key. I hope so. Drum Key Elixir. Buy it now, bitch. Oh, man. 12 and then Jack Daniels 14. All right, so those are in there. No particular order means 100% particular order. Screw you, Matt. Don't be putting that out in the universe. Star Hill Farms from Maker's Mark. I thought it was a huge surprise this year. Love this whiskey. I'm not sure how it's going to do in the blind, but I feel like it's good enough to put in there. Star Hill. My surprise whiskey of the year is definitely going in the mix. The Stranahan's Founders 12 year for sure. This is definitely going to go. I feel like I'm going to be able to taste this as soon as I taste it, or know what it is as soon as I taste it. But I'm going to a little behind. The new Tanager box is slightly different. The text on the bottom says still Austin last year versus Lee. Yeah. Somebody was talking about the little differences here and there. JD 14 is good, but ranked way too high. JD 12 is good or is good or as better. These will be blind eventually when I do them. So this is the Founders release, which will be in the mix. I'm not doing all these tonight, guys, by the way. But I will do some head-to-head matchups that you guys can call out here for the last maybe hour of the stream here. Okay. Abraham Bowman Batch 4. Abraham Bowman Batch 4 is going to be in the mix. This is a fantastic release. I can't wait to see how this goes. I think I saw that Stranahan's and didn't realize what it was. Have you had the Doc Holliday revolver set? I got it for Christmas and I'm scared to open it in case it's really bad. I haven't had that, but I've seen it. I've heard it's not that great. Do them all. Okay. Of course, we got the Wild Turkey Beacon. Master's Keep Beacon is going to be in the mix. That's definitely going to be in there for. I'm hoping this actually finishes a little high. I have two Russells. I think the Russell's 13 was actually highly underrated this year. I think this only got better with some airtime. And And then obviously the single rickhouse C&E. So the C&E this year is just phenomenal. A different profile versus the Beacon, different profile versus this 14. This 13. But I'm curious to see how all these do in the blind. So you have the Beacon, then you have the Russell's 13, 2025, and the Russell's C&E. So that's what I have there. So you guys, as you're seeing these bottles, let me know if you want me to just do any quick head-to-heads. Let's see what happens. Knob Creek 21, I'm going to throw in there as well. Love this whiskey. I think the proof is going to hurt this one, eventually in the blind, but definitely wanted to mention it. New Riff 10-year bourbon. Fantastic bourbon. Very underrated. Flew under the radar this year. I think this is going to be one of those really, really good ones that we'll see how it does. Thank you so much, Mr. Elijah. Appreciate that, man. Hey, Stu, that 10-year is epic. Yeah, this 10 years is really good. So can't wait to see how that does. Penelope, the Estate Collection. I'm sorry, Estate Collection Founders Reserve. This is the 13-year, 113.4 proof. This is Heaven Hill distillate that they blended. Really like it. I don't know if it's going to do great in the end of the year blind, but we'll see how it goes. Speaking of Heaven Hill, the one Elijah Craig barrel proof I actually really enjoyed this year was the B525. So I'm going to throw that in the mix this year, see how it does. Let me write these down. Penelope Estate. ECBP B525. Oh yeah, and the New Riff 10-year. Jim Beam Lineage. I did not get a bottle of Lineage, Top Jimmy. Tannion versus Coy Hill Hero Select. Sugar Kitty, I would love to open my Hero Select, but I'm actually sending that to an actual Army vet that is. He's a fan of the channel, and he's actually he just retired, and I think he had a pretty serious injury. And I think his wife reached out to me and said that he's a big fan, just want to say thank you, and I thought it was really, really nice that they did that. So I'm going to actually send him my bottle of Hero Select, just as a thank you to him. Penelope dropping new labels like nobody's business. Beam and Kentucky in general don't like the government messing with their money tariffs. Senator McConnell and Paul knew how their bread gets buttered and aren't kissing the ring. Yeah, maybe that could be a part of it. Get something in the glass, Jason. New Riff versus JD, 10 versus 13. Oh, I could do that. That's kind of cool. I like that idea. All right, I'll do that. Just a few more I want to mention here. The Reveries Raven. Dude, Reveries Raven this year. I think this is going to finish pretty high for me this year. This is number one. I don't think I've had one this good. I've had two others. I've had 3 and 4. I don't think I had Raven 2, but this one is exceptional. So again, one of those Reveries is one of those brands that just kind of blew up this year, and I think this is like really, really delicious stuff. So. Bomberger's PFG, obviously. This is one of my favorite releases. PFG. Reveries Raven. And then 2 more here. Old Stubborn and the William Heaven Hill 19. So Old Stubborn and William Heaven Hill 19. So these are the last 2 that I have in the mix for my Whiskey of the Year blind tasting. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 17 whiskeys. Holy shit. Question. Should I include an Elkwood Reserve 18-year Barton? Should that be in the mix? You tell me in the chat. And while you're voting, I'm going to get that blind poured. Or I'm gonna get it poured. The Jack Daniels thing. Let's do that. All right, so let's see how New Riff 10-year does. No picks. No Tanyard. Brian, Tanyard Hill already won my rye of the year. I don't put the ryes in with this grouping. I already did my rye of the year. Tanyard Hill won it outright, easily. So, yep. Tanyard won that one. Jack 14. Jack 12. This is a new bottle. Yes, include Elkwood. No Peter E. Hart. No, I'm not putting that one in Top Jimmy. I do love the Peter E. Hart, but again, that's kind of my. I kind of have to set. Well, maybe I could put that one in there. I don't know. There has to be like a point where I just don't include everything. I felt like Peter E. Hart was kind of in like that grouping of new brands that I found this year, and it did really well. So yeah, maybe I do include Peter E. Hart. 12. All right. So I have 12, 14, and New Riff 10 here. We'll do this one. William Heaven Hill 19, Jack 12, and Jack 14. 12 Summers eats Russell's 13's lunch, but I like that balanced profile. Some people like their face ripped off. I think I have a bottle of 12 Summers. Actually, 12 Summers I should include. I'm gonna write that in there. 12 Summers from Barrel King. Yeah, that blend from Matt should be in there. So I will add that. Love that idea. Include Elkwood. Oh, Four Roses LE 2025. Good call. Four Roses LE 2025. Highly underrated batch this year, I think. Still, I don't think it's as good as the previous batches, but I think it's good enough to include. Yes, I like that. What's your favorite? What's your malt of the year, Lamar? So this Stranahan's 12-year Founders Reserve easily, man. That thing is so delicious. Barrel FP 11-year. Which one was that one, Nathan? Barrel FP 11-year. Yes, the Woodford Chocolate Whisper I could throw in there. Yep. Woodford Chocolate Whisper. Okay. So that just made it a nice even 20 there. What's the Barrel FP 11? I can't remind me of that one. JC, thank you for an amazing year. It's really exceptional. Thank you for everything you do. Now Hawk can really call me a kiss ass. Yeah, exactly. Hey, what's up, Bourbon? Barrel Foolproof? Oh, Infinity 2. Man, should I put Infinity 2 in there? So Barrel Craft Spirits Foolproof? I don't think I got that bottle. No, Michter's 10. I didn't enjoy Michter's 10-year this year. I thought it was pretty mediocre. Old Overholt was a rye. I already put that in the rye of the year competition. I don't think it fared super well. I'm not putting Drum Key in the mix. I refuse to put my own brand in the mix. I don't like to do that. Barrel was so good call, Nathan. That barrel was so under the radar. Jefferson's Reserve. Oh yeah, I could put the Jefferson's 130 in. Oh yeah, actually I had that in there. Jefferson's 130. Man, I have a lot of drinking to do this week. You guys are killing me. It was a super small 250 release. Yeah, I did not get that one. Didn't get that one. Probably missed the email. Who knows? Lineage Batch 2 is worth finding. Very good. Yeah, I'm not going to find that now, especially before the end of the year. Bardstown Discovery 13. I wasn't super impressed with it this year. I mean, I can include it, but I don't know. I didn't. What do you guys think? Did you guys enjoy that one? I don't think it was good enough for to put in a blind. Like I don't know. It just didn't really impress me this year. OGD 16 year that was last year and it sucked. OGD 16 year. Sorry, top shelf Dustin. I did not like it. It was okay. It was good. It was good aged whiskey, but I'm sorry, you put on a 16-year OGD, that thing better have a finish on it, and the finish falls right off a cliff. No, thank you. Disco 13 isn't winning. Yeah, that's what I think. Like Disco 13, I don't think it's not gonna hold up in this. It was too finished for me. Yeah, I would kind of agree. Nothing special. Adam Dorman, cheers, Jason. It's been a great year for you, buddy. We've had some great picks to go along with Drum Key. Cheers to 25 and bring on 26. Hell yeah. Yeah, I wasn't really crazy about the OG. You know what makes the OGD 16 much better? Pour some OGD 114 in it. It's a cheat code. It's a cheat code. I literally took a quarter of my bottle of the OGD 16 year and I poured it out, just put it in a glass to the side, and I replaced it with OGD 114. Man, did it make that whiskey sing. Yeah, the Ferrand is better than Disco 13. I agree. Amroot was last year. All right, so I think I can't imagine Little Book Infinity doing well either. In my opinion, that sucked, but clearly others disagree. I think the second one was better, but I don't think it's gonna do really well here either. Cowboy Bourbon 2025. Didn't see that one. Yeah, OGD 114 is crazy value. Blue Note's uncut. Yeah, I'm not a big Blue Note dude. I mean, Blue Note does come out with some nice releases here and there, but nothing that I've tried or heard about that needs to be. Yeah, Booker's. I thought Booker's Reserves, even though I thought it was blasphemous to finish a Booker's in a tequila barrel, I didn't think it was good. I thought it wasn't bad, but I don't think it was good enough to put in this type of blind. All right, guys, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna do a poll here because I think I just missed the thing here. Hold on a second. Add a poll. Barton 18, Elkwood. All right, I just threw a poll there together. Should I include the Barton 18 Elkwood? Yes or no? It is a single barrel. I just thought like it should have maybe some sort of representation, but going by my rule of no single barrels, I feel like if you guys feel like it's unfair to put that in, then don't put it in. So the poll is in there. You guys can fill it out. Let's see what you guys say. What about Old Cassidy, says Kanish. Didn't really have any of that. Maybe that Heaven Hill 90th anniversary bottle. I did not get that Carson either. I did get the Heaven Hill Unity, which is kind of a sneaky good bottle. I could include that. But again, I just don't think that's going to hold up here either. I feel like this list that I have is probably the best representation of the year 2025. I mean, these are the whiskeys. These are the ones that people were talking about. Yeah, there's probably some really good under the radar ones I'm missing, like the Barrel Foolproof one that apparently was really good, but I missed out on. But I feel like there's some others in here that I have. The Jefferson's Cast Strength, the Woodford Chocolate Whisper, which was such a weird release. I mean, crazy. Michter's, no, I did my rye ranking already, but the ryes are done. Tanyard Hill was my number one rye of the year. President's Choice rye, I think, was second from Old Forester, surprisingly. And then I think I had Sagamore 10 was up there, and I forgot what the other one was, but yeah. Single barrel, okay, just not picks. Okay, so I'm not going to put a pick in here. I just like to see if you had a mash and drum follow and sent me to that smooth selfie profile. Frey Ranch, farm strength. Yeah, no, I'm not going to put that in there. It's too young. Yes, the ECY batch was I think that got number 2, actually. All right. I'm going to shut up now. I got my list. Let's start drinking whiskey. Let's see what we got here. It is 7:30. All right, I got 30 minutes of good sipping time at you guys. This New Riff has such a rich cherry flavor to it. Really good. So you're saying you already ranked rye. Yes, everybody keeps asking about rye whiskeys. I already ranked the ryes. I'm going to make a video on it, guys. So you will see my entire ranking of all the ryes. Actually, Rare Bird's rye was in. I don't know if he's still here, but his Gemini 2 Raconteur rye made the top tier as well. Oakley 20, the marketing makes me want to try it. Man, such great. This is just pure, just cherry oak baking spice, like to the max here for New Riff. It's everything you love about New Riff. Again, with a little bit more age, a little bit more oak on it. Love it. This is the 14. The 14 is just darker. It's chocolatey. It's molasses, and it's cigar, and it's delicious. When you're comparing these, it's really tough to kind of like they're two completely different whiskeys, but they're both very good. I just think that Jack Daniels has a little bit more going on from front to back of the palate. Sorry, I was just poking with the rye ranking comment. Can I tell it? He'll hit a nerve. New rule for tonight. Every time someone says rye, you got to take a sip. Rye. But I wasn't hitting a nerve. Just like everyone's asking me, what about this rye? What about that rye? I already did the rye rankings, and I understand if you guys missed them, but I will be putting out. That's the next video I'm doing is my rye rankings of the year, so you will see them. But if you're interested in how it went, look back a couple live streams ago, and you'll see the actual live rankings that I did. The best whiskey I tried this year, I believe, was a 13-year American single malt. Oh, very nice. And that's the 12. Man, the 12 has like that nostalgic butterscotch note that I love. Oh my God, it's so good. This is going to be tough in a blind, but shit. You have cherry, you have chocolate and cigar, and you have butterscotch. 3 completely different whiskeys. How these are going to hit in the blind, I don't know. But if I had to rank them right now, anybody want to talk about rye whiskey and my rankings that I didn't do yet? Oh, the 13-year Wyatt Earp, 162. Yeah, that's ridiculous, Ben. Who's drinking that shit? Come on. 13-year, 162 proof. That's just stupid. Like there has to be a limit, like with the proof. That's ridiculous. Rank all 10 versions of Basil Hayden. Oh God. You know what? I bet you if I did that video, it would get a shit ton of views. Are you doing a top single malt American? No. I mean, that's something I probably should do going into the future, just because there have been a lot more great American single malts being made. So yeah, that might be something I have to do. Spiteful Bum. Suburban, the Driftless 10-year cast strength is pretty amazing. Oh, loved the Driftless 10-year cast strength this year. I did not get a bottle of it, but I got to try it, and it was delicious. We need a Scotch of the year, says Top Shelf Dustin. Man, I got to think. What was my Scotch of the year that I got to try this year? I mean, I'll tell you what. I think the new riff and the Jack 14 are closer than I thought they would be. The Jack 12 is good. It's nostalgic. I love the profile, but overall, it's just not holding up to these two. Excuse me, especially when you're talking about finish. Guys, tee up the next matchup you want me to do. Throw it in the chat. Let's keep it going. I got to get sauced before the game. Just the Jack 14 is just darker, overall, and it just again, that's the cigar box, the molasses, the chocolate notes that it has. But man, this new riff, you could fool me thinking that could be like Buffalo Trace. It does have that little twinge of like, it just has like that little bit of like that new riffy tannic note that I get sometimes at new riff. 12 Summers versus Russell's 13. I got to find my 12 Summers, man. It might be upstairs. Hold on. Is that it? That's not it. Where's my 12 Summers? I don't think it's down here, dude. But I will. I could see 12 Summers beating Russell 13 for sure. For sure. But it's definitely going to be my blind at the end of the year. For sure, Maddie. I don't have the Heaven Hill 90th. Do not have the 90th. Yeah, the Raven versus Dragon Wolf telling me to do Rise. Okay. The Bunnahabhain pour from the Advent. Oh, the Bunnahabhain cast strength? That 12-year? I'm sorry, 21-year. Yeah, that 21-year Bunnahabhain cast strength was freaking delicious. Should I pull the trigger on the $499 Calumet 18 here in the bonus? I like Barton, all 1792 foolproof picks. Todd, if you love Barton that much, you're probably going to love that Calumet 18. But I'm just warning you now, man. You have to like that medicinal cherry note. Oh, so we're going in here, man. No need to even put the 19 in a matchup. It wins on the nose alone. Yeah, the Bowman versus Jefferson Cat. Oh, I like that idea. Let's do that. Let's put the Bowman in. Give me another whiskey to add to this. Have you ever completed a top craft whiskey list? Any interest? Happy New Year, Jason. Says Matt Robinson. So I have a video coming out. I don't know if you would call it craft, but it's definitely like newer distilleries that I discovered this year. And, most of them are small. So I don't know if you're going to call that a craft whiskey list, but yeah, they're definitely smaller distillers that probably not a lot of people have heard of. So I do have something coming out like that along those lines. All right, what else should I put in here? Bro, just saw you running this. Didn't expect anything this week. Yeah, I just figured I'd pop on tonight and do something fun. I felt bad skipping 2 weeks in a row. EH barrel proof. Oh, GTS. Yeah, let's do that. Fuck it. Let's put GTS in here with it. Let's see if these beat GTS. Oh, an ECBP B525. I like that idea. Yes. Oh, we're getting crazy. I'm going to keep that on the side. All right, no more. That's it. 4. That's it. That's all I could fit. All right, let's see what we got here. All you guys are like, drink, puppet, drink. Drink what I want. Okay. All right. Bowman first. I'm just going to nose these real quick, guys. There you go. Throw in drum key for us. Throw in drum key. Come on, man. Don't let me throw my own shit in there. My drum key that I have open is upstairs. Let me text Kim. I'll tell her to bring it down. All right. I texted her. Let's see. Hopefully she sees her phone and brings it down. All right. All right, here we go. So 12 Summers. I don't know if she's going to be able to find 12 Summers. I think that's in the cabinet upstairs. Let me just have her bring down the drum key first, then we'll go from there. Oh, I hear her walking around upstairs. I think she heard. I think she's bringing it down. I think she's got it. I hear her moving the bottles around to look at it. Let's see. Yo, Kim, bring down the goods. Krista wants Kim. She's never going to come on. Oh, she did hear me. She's coming down. Hey, babe. Thanks. You want to come on for a little bit? There's only 240 people watching. Happy New Year. She said Happy New Year. Thanks, babe. There you go. Made it happen. What are Kim's favorite flowers or hobby? That woman deserves a package in the mail. Kim's favorite hobby, shopping. That's her favorite pastime. In a good way. All right. This is a lot of shit. Okay, we got drum key here. Let's start with the Bowman. Let's see what wins the nose for me. Man, this Bowman smells so fantastic. This is the debut. I didn't do these solos. This is the debut that we have right here. So, I mean, the nose on this one actually reminds me a little bit of the debut because it's really dark, fruit forward, which I like. Obviously, nice little punch of proof here too. Obviously, it's therapy. Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it is, Stella. Oh man, I think this thing got. The thing about the Bowman, though, when you talk about the dark fruit note in it, this is more grapey to me, way more grapey. And I know it's supposed to be, Buffalo Trace, Mash Bill 2 distillate, but this is definitely more grapey to me. Oh my God, it's so good. That thing has gotten even more grapey, even on the palate. The grapiness of it, the dark fruit. It's almost like grape, milk chocolate, cinnamon, and spice. And then you got this really nice, like, pungent oak on the back end of it that just gives you this big spice punch, and obviously you get like a bunch of whatchamacallit, the finish on it with like that sweet oak profile. That's great, man. I think shopping is like bourbon hunting for things that aren't bourbon. Great forward Buffalo Trace. Yeah, winning. Yeah, it's great forward, dude. All right, let's go to the Jeffersons. So the Jeffersons doesn't have nearly the complexity on the nose, but it does just smell like straight up vanilla. It is vanilla and it is sugar cookie. And fire. Fire. Holy shit. It's good though, man. I dig it. Again, I think the Jefferson's 130 is a huge one of those surprise whiskeys this year. So when you're comparing it and you're coming off, especially even the Bowman, there you could definitely taste a little bit more of a youthful characteristic in the Jefferson's 130, but on its own, it's just an absolute beast. It just comes in, it punches you in the mouth, it does all the things that you kind of don't expect it to do. But then when you're reading the stats, there's no age statement on it, so you figure it's a younger whiskey, 130 proof. This is coming in with just some fire in here, and that's what it does. I hit a bottle of B525 behind the two A125s at my favorite liquor store 2 months ago, and the B525 is still there as of yesterday. What does it say about ECBP in the current year? I think it was very, very bad timing on Heaven Hill's part. Because you're taking an age statement off in a world where bourbon drinkers know there's an excess of barrels hanging around. So why are you diminishing the product? Now, look, you could say all day long that the age statement doesn't matter. It's the blend. It's how the barrels come together. But when there's been I think we're far enough along the line now with ECBP since it's lost its age statement that you could see that there's been a drop in quality of some of these Elijah Craig barrel proof batches. Yeah, some have been good. It's still a decent value, but there's been a drop off. Everybody knows it. There's been a drop off. So in a world now that we're living in this time right now, when we have 16.2 million barrels, jigillion barrels laying around Kentucky, and you're like, you know what? We're going to take the age statement off. We want to put some 9 years, some 10-year shit in it. It's just not a good look. So I think that compounded with the fact that we're in a market correction, that's why you see Elijah Craig barrel proof sitting around so much. Cody working hard behind the scenes over at Heaven Hill. And the HH put out C923 as a gift to us all and didn't bring anything to that level for 2 years. Age doesn't matter, like size doesn't matter. Listen, I love Heaven Hill. You guys know Heaven Hill is one of my favorite distilleries, probably my top 3 distilleries that I love. And I don't know. I just think some of the stuff that they're doing, I don't necessarily understand all the time. But then it's like they put out like a Heaven Hill 19, like they did a William Heaven Hill 19. You're like, okay, like, dude. So I don't know. I think also Elijah Craig barrel proof was one of those sacred bottles that it was beloved for so long. People looked at it as the beacon of value. 12-year age statement, sub $100. I mean, $65, $70 for a long time. And 12 years old. And people looked at that as that is the beacon. That's what all value is measured up to is that bottle right there. And it lost its luster when they took it away. And now here's the other thing. If you took the age statement away, but you kept the quality and the deliciousness of them up to a certain level as you go through, then yeah, I think you wouldn't have as much of an issue. But I just think there's just been too many batches that have been subpar. And I think that has affected the aura of it all, unfortunately. On the Jefferson's Reserve, is the word term reserve used to indicate 8 years old? I don't know. I could not find an age statement on this thing, no matter what I did. So reserve just could be a nice little marketing term on there. That thing could be 5, 6 years old. I don't know. Yeah, they also flooded the markets with ECBP picks. Adelio, that's a great point. Once they opened it up for barrel picks, I think that maybe also, maybe that did play a hand in people losing a little bit of interest for sure. The Jefferson's 130 proof is delicious. It's not as layered as the Bowman though. But what this does, it does it really well. It's just one of those really, really delicious releases that I think people are sleeping on. All right, let's go with the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof B525. Speaking of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, so it's really interesting because the Bowman is so grapey and oaky, and that proof point that it has. What is this? Is this 100? Oh, it's 139. I was like, it's 140. It's 139.7. So this one's going to be a hard beast to beat. The Elijah Craig, this B525, compared to that, even coming off of the Jeffersons, has such a rich sweetness to it. It's so much sweeter than the other two. The Jeffersons is sweet, but it's also like vanilla, and like I said, it's vanilla and gasoline. It's vanilla, it's oak, it's sweet, sugar cookie. It's got that. It's pretty straightforward. It doesn't really expand too much on the flavors it has. It kind of stays straight and narrow. This is what this whiskey does, and this is what this bourbon is going to taste like. And you kind of expect, what you're going to taste as you going forward from sip to sip. The Bowman extends itself a little bit more into those deep, rich fruit notes. This Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, it's so Heaven Hill, man. But this has the butter toffee creme brulee note in Elijah Craig Barrel Proof that I love. That's why I love B525 so much. I think it brings back, it gets away from just the tannicky, oaky youthfulness that some of the other ECB patches have had. And it brought it back to that sweetness level that I love with ECBP. Could it use a little bit more oak to balance it out? Totally. But what this does, I think I do like this more than the Jeffersons. I just think it goes down a few more avenues, but I don't like it as much as the Abraham Bowman. Google says the Jeffersons is 8 years old. Really? But there's a regular Jefferson's Reserve that's 8 years old. Is it the Jefferson's Reserve cask strength 130? Is this also 8? Or all the Jefferson's Reserves 8 years? I guess we'll have to find that out. Hey, Jason, Ryan with Metalhead Whiskey Snow YouTube channel here. Do you have any media sample kits of your drum key brand available? Yeah, Ryan, just shoot me an email at themashanddrum@gmail.com and I can gladly send you out a sample. Yeah, this is a really good ECBP this year, I think. Is it still live up to some of the older ones? No. But, from the later batches I've had, I really do like this one. All right, let's go with the Stagg. How does a George T. Stagg just not give me much of anything here? I mean, I get the ethanol, that cherry George T. Stagg is, that quintessential Stagg is there, but it just lacks the depth that that we've all been accustomed to for George T. Stagg. It just lacks the depth. George T. Stagg 2025 is not good. I, I'll Whoever thinks that that's a good George T. Stagg is just blinded by their Buffalo Trace heart-shaped sunglasses. Because it's not good. It's not great. It's okay. I still get like that burnt plasticky note on it. Nope. I like the Abraham Bowman way better than that George T. Stagg. It just drinks hot. Yep. That's kind of this is a regretful buy for me this year because, I paid up to get that and I kind of regret it. Top Shelf Dustin, if you need help, Mike and I will review that GTS. I'll tell you what, Top Shelf Dustin, you could friggin' take it, review it, do whatever you want with it. I don't give a shit. But if you and Mike say you like it, then I can't watch your channel anymore. All right, drum key. Here we go. Oh, my baby. Oh, you smell so delicious. Oh my gosh. I forget how dark fruit forward this drum key gets, man. The more it opens up, it is berries. There's a slight butterscotchiness in there on this drum key as well. But I mean, this is blackberry and black cherry, and I don't think it necessarily goes grape like the Bowman does, but this is like just every dark fruit you could think of. Holy shit. I'm going to tear up, man. That makes me so proud. And the finish, the one thing that people are saying about the drum key more than anything is that the finish on it is relentless. And it is. The finish on my drum key is relentless. And I tell you what, I like that better than the George T. Stagg. I like it better than the Elijah Craig. I like it better than the Jeffersons. Do I like it better than the Abraham Bowman, though? Man, it's close. It's close. Wow. Holy crap. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a bias here. Drum key needs a box like Booker's. Yeah, B525 is delicious. I agree. I don't know. I think people would probably lean towards the Bowman just because of the proof on it. The drum key isn't that high of a proof. But I tell you what the drum key lacks in proof, it makes up for in flavor. The avenues of flavor, the drum key goes down, all the different mixed berries, the pastry, the finish on it. I'll tell you this, the drum key, even though it's a lower proof than the Bowman, this has a better finish than the Bowman does. This lasts longer. It sits, it tingles, it goes on forever. The Bowman, I think, does it in a way, but it doesn't more proof heavy. Bag inside a tube, inside a box. Boxes equals money. How about drum key versus beacon? Man, those are two really different profiles. I take a drink of the debut and I sit down for like 10 minutes. The long finish is that good. Yeah, I think so too. The proof of the drum key, it's 123 proof. It's 123 on the dot. Drum key debut could be in a plastic Mad Dog 2020 bottle. It would still be the best. Yeah, drum key is good. Yeah, I don't know, man. Even with all these whiskeys and my palate just like getting killed right now, it's still holding up. I don't know, man. If I had to pick a favorite here, and I'm excluding the drum key again, I don't want to put any bias into it. I would put drum key in the top two though in this blind, or not even blind, but in this lineup. But the Elijah Craig B525, I'm telling you, I think this has a real shot to do something sneaky good this year in the rankings. Jefferson's 130, I think, could as well, but this Abraham Bowman dude, this could be a top fiver. I think it's really, really good. What time is it? 7:59. All right. It's going to be game time here. I have time for one more head-to-head. What do you guys got? What do you want me to do? One more. I'll do one more before we call it a night. Do you guys want me to do a turkey something? What do you got? Beacon, C&E. What do we have? Give me one more. Did the game already start? Calumet 18 and Beacon. Okay, we could do that. Cheesy Gold Foil versus Beacon. That's like, oh, Raven and C&E. Oh, I like that matchup. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Oh, it's the middle of the first quarter. Beacon, C&E, do it. I feel like I've done that one, ADHD. You know what? I'll do. Wait, what was? Oh, yeah. Let me do those three. Give me 1 second. Let me do that. Then we'll call it a night. I got to go up and watch the game. All right. So, Beacon. Beacon. C&E. Right? That was C&E? Yeah. And Raven. This is it, guys. This could be a top 3 preview. You never know. This could be a top 3 preview. Although I think William Heavenhelm 19 is going to have something to say about it. Just saying. Then I'll put it against Drum Key for good measure. Okay. All right, let's do this. So everyone always asks, what's the biggest difference between Beacon versus C&E? It's the oak profile. The oak profile on Beacon is unmistakable. It's pure turkey deliciousness. It's well-aged wild turkey. It's the cigar box. It's the turkey funk. It's the burnt orange. It's the vanilla custard just taken up a notch. Michter's 25 versus Blade and Bow. I have a Michter's 20 now, but I do not have a Blade and Bow 30 yet. I have a Michter's 20 though. I did acquire one. C&E. This is just a completely different animal when it comes to turkey. This is as fruit forward as wild turkey has ever been. You know, this actually gets closer to me to the drum key than any of these would. The drum key to me is kind of a C&E type of profile where it's super fruit forward. The oak is there, but it doesn't have the age on the nose like the beacon. Like the beacon is just pure turkey elegance. Oh my gosh. Yeah, cherry orange on the beacon all day long. And then the Raven. Oh my gosh, the Raven just there's something about it that is just so well developed, so well blended. So the Raven gives you the age, but it also gives you the sweet, gives you everything in perfect balance. Great finish on it. It levels the playing field across the palette. Everything just hits. There's no gaps in Raven number 1. It's so beautifully blended, and that's what I strive for when I try to blend. When I try to blend this, I don't want any gaps. I want you to feel it from the front to the back of the palette all day long. That's what Raven does. Let's go to the C&E. God, the C&E is like drinking silk. It's just so silky and concentrated. The fruit flavors, the darkness of it, the sweetness. It's really interesting when you talk about it in context of wild turkey. It's almost like, well, I feel like I've tasted every single type of turkey, but C&E is different. There's just something else different about it. Smooth. I wasn't going to say it, Travis. And then let's go to the Beacon. The Beacon is just like age. It's just, you're talking about such a beautifully aged Wild Turkey product. They're three very different whiskeys. And either one of these three could win a top of the year for whoever. I think it just depends. I've seen people that like the CNE over the Beacon, and I've seen people that like Beacon over CNE. I think if you like more punch, more fruit forwardness, more sweetness, you're going to lean towards the CNE. If you like more of the age, you like that really well developed age note with the oak, a little bit of that leather, the tobacco, like that, the cigar box type of stuff that you get, along with like that orange and a little bit of cherry that it has. That's what Beacon is. And you kind of combine that all together for a really beautiful pour. The CNE is just a little bit more in your face, especially with the dark fruit profile. Then you have the Raven, which I feel like it's kind of a combination of both of these, where you get really great age, but you get a lot of sweet, you get a lot of dark fruit too. For 2K, I can drive a B&B 30 up to you tomorrow. Jason Koba, do you have one? Or do you have a store that has one for 2K? Beacon is the closest thing I've had to Russell's Reserve 15, but still not close. I feel like Russell's Reserve 15 takes some of the best attributes of Beacon and some of the best attributes of CNE and kind of blends them together. But in a much more like fermented fruit, darkness kind of way. And that's why I think people love Russell's Reserve 15 so much. Store across the street has it, says Jason Kobe. Dude. Jason, shoot me an email or just shoot me a message on Instagram or email me. We might have to talk about that. Yeah, CNE. I don't know which one I would go here. You know what? I think I actually like the Raven over the CNE, but between Raven and Beacon, that's going to be tough. That's going to be tough. We'll see how it shakes out, guys. What can I say? I just wanted to hop on tonight, have a good time with you guys, go through. Thank you for guiding me on some of the bottles that I may have been missing, some of the bottles that are in my tops of the year. It seems like most of you guys agreed with most of them that I had in, and thank you for kind of gearing me towards some other ones that I was missing, like the 12 Summers from Barrel King, Jefferson's 130, Four Roses. I did not want to miss out on putting those in the mix as well. So thank you guys so much for that. What can I say? It's been a hell of a year. Love every single one of you that have been watching me throughout 2025, hitting 100,000 subscribers, the birth of Drum Key. This is all really because of you. Thank you guys so much. Happy New Year. Love all of you. Have a safe and happy one. I will see you guys next week as we'll do a fun live stream. I have a really fun blind tasting I'm going to be doing. And I know I didn't get a chance to talk about my next Drum Key releases, but I promise I'll do that next week. So cheers to all of you. Happy New Year. Enjoy tonight. Be safe. And I will see you next week right here on the Master and Drum. Go Bucks. Here we go. Go Buckeyes.